This is Gareth Harthacree for Hackster.io at Embedded World 2026 in Nuremberg. And with me is Robin Saltnes from Nordic Semiconductor, who's going to be walking us through some of the edge AI technology the company's showing off at the show. Robin, do you want to take us through what you've got?
Yeah, sure. So we are showcasing two different edge AI technologies that are complementary. So the first one is our custom Neuton models, which is ultra-efficient models that are completely automatically generated in our platform, which creates super efficient models that you can run efficiently even on the normal CPU processing core of any Nordic SoC. So here I have a little nRF54L15 board. This has no dedicated hardware for running neural network or neural processing unit or anything, but this runs custom Neuton models that does gesture recognition based on the data from the accelerometer that's also on this board. So when I do, for example, a double shake, you can see on the top here, it recognizes that motion. I can do different swipes, I can do like a circular motion and everything. All of these gestures are recognized directly on this little device, and then only the result is sent over Bluetooth to the PC inside here and displayed on the screen.
And I can see here the footprint, so that's all running in under 2 kilobytes of RAM and under 6 kilobytes of flash on device.
And that is how the model comes out of the platform. It doesn't require you to give any input to architecture like you would on a light RT or TensorFlow model, and it doesn't require you to make the model smaller after the fact either. So this is a fully automatic solution for simpler use cases, like for example interpreting sensor data. For more advanced use cases, we have our Axon NPU, which is found inside the nRF54LM20B SoC, suitable for things like, for example, keyword spotting. So here I have a development kit with a microphone on it, and in the middle here we have a GUI that shows our wake word gated keyword spotting. So wake word gated means that we have one model for wake words that is recognizing one phrase, and this is tuned to reject false positives. So if I try to say all the keywords before activating it with the wake word, it won't recognize them. So if I say yes, no, stop, go, left, right, it doesn't do anything. But if I say okay Nordic, left, right, up, down, stop, it's recognized, and after a little while it goes back into being wake word gated, so it doesn't recognize more words. And this is actually running two different machine learning models or AI models after each other to do this. And to highlight how much more efficient it is to use an NPU over running this type of keyword spotting algorithm on the normal CPU core, we also have the current measurement here. So this kit is running the same keyword spotting algorithm, so without the wake word bar, over and over again on the normal CPU core of the nRF54L20B. And this kit is running it on the Axon NPU. And they are connected to these power profilers that measures the current consumption. This keyword spotting algorithm on the normal ARM Cortex CPU, it takes almost 74 milliseconds to complete one inference, translates to 187 microcolumns of charge being used by one event. While on the Axon NPU, it takes less than 7 milliseconds, 6.5 about, and less than 20 microcolumns to complete one inference. In this case, it is 10 times faster and uses 10 times less energy, almost 10 times less energy than you would have if you were trying to do the same thing on the ARM Cortex CPU. And we are measuring up to 15 times more efficient and faster than the CPU in other use cases.
And that leaves the microcontroller cores free for other tests as well. You can run the NPU and microcontroller.
Exactly. You can run things in parallel. You can have, for example, advanced AI inferencing without affecting the Bluetooth stack, for example. We even have a RISC-V coprocessor as well, so you can run 3 different things in parallel if you would like. And we have also tested this, and it shows that when you're running the Axon at full tilt, the CPU performance is degraded by a little less than 4%, and the Axon NPU performance is degraded by 0.8% by having the CPU running a core mark at the same time. They don't affect each other at all, almost.
And with this kind of thing, when people hear AI, not so much here in the embedded world, but in the news elsewhere, people are thinking large language models, are thinking about very heavy computation, think about cloud computing. This sort of thing is hugely efficient, isn't it? I mean, you were measuring there in micro. With that, what kind of use cases can you imagine that this sort of efficiency brings?
This is way different from a large language model. The models has to be trained. They are still trained in the cloud, but the energy cost of training these models is nowhere near even running a large language model. It's more like posting web pages or something. using normal server infrastructure that you have abundance of. And this technology is actually saving energy because it's all about moving things from being processed in the cloud to being processed locally. So for example, this keyword spotting algorithm, most things that do keyword spotting now, they have one wake word that is recognized on the device, and then they start streaming audio data to the cloud for processing in a more advanced model. So we can, for example, imagine that you can have smart speakers that have a wide variety of commands that are recognized locally, and this both saves you energy on transmitting things to the cloud, it saves you time because you don't have to wait for response back from the server. It also gives you more privacy because it means you don't have to upload all that data into the cloud to servers you don't know where are and things like that. So it's a really vast array of different benefits of doing AI locally instead of sending everything to the cloud.
And this isn't the only thing that Nordic is showing off at the show. Obviously, you've got quite a big booth here. What other things have you got today?
We are showing quite a lot of things on the Bluetooth space. So we have, for example, Bluetooth channel sounding, which is distance measuring using only the Bluetooth radio and no extra hardware, like UWB. Then we have Bluetooth SCI, which is coming into the Bluetooth spec, which is shorter connection intervals, which allows you to up the refresh rate of Bluetooth HID devices like keyboard and mouse, for example. So standard Bluetooth has a maximum refresh rate of 133 Hz. With shorter connection intervals, you can boost that up to theoretically 2666 Hz of refresh rate. And this is because the normal minimum connection interval on Bluetooth LE is 7.5 milliseconds. While with shorter connection intervals, you can get it all the way down to 375 microseconds.
And that's going to be good for things like peripherals, mice, for Twitch gaming and sensing.
Yeah, so for Twitch gaming, they have never really adopted Bluetooth as the communication protocol because of this refresh rate. And now when you can hit at least 1K with shorter connection intervals, you can start to see that gaming mice also will use Bluetooth LE instead of this proprietary protocol that they have been relying on up until now for wireless.
And you've also got some news with cellular IoT connectivity as well.
Yeah, so last week at the Mobile World Congress, we launched some new products, the NRF 92 series and 93 M1, which is different technologies for long range. And we have our asset tracking demo here that shows like a variety of these technologies. And we also have a demo on our RISC-V co-processor that is inside almost all of the NRF 54L series SoCs, which allows you to do multitasking, so offloading things from the normal CPU core to a co-processor so they don't affect, for example, the wireless protocol stack and makes interruptions to that or the other way around. And we also have our demo on Matter Smart Home and on power management and on Wi-Fi.
If people want to find out more about what Nordic's showing off at the show and about the technologies, you can visit nordicsemi.com. And for more from Embedded World 2026, stick around with Hackster.io. Robin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.